I was very surprised that they rejected SpaceX request. I mean, I think any person who objectively looks at the progress SpaceX is making in the space industry, they've been exemplary and have exceeded expectations. I mean, their rockets are incredible. The level of sophistication and the way he's made rockets reusable is extremely good for the environment. He's saving on waste and cost and all kinds of stuff. So I don't understand. It wasn't very rational to me, the reason why they would want to reject it. But then once we heard the comments of the commissioners, it became abundantly clear what the real reason was. The basis for their decision is dangerous and illegal for a couple of reasons. Number one, the testimony provided by the military to the Coastal Commission was that these rocket launches are a strategic national security interest to the United States. So denying the request puts the U.S. in a weaker position with our global competitors and makes America weaker, not stronger. So that's what I refer to as far as dangerous. Illegal has to do with the reason for their decision. It's very obvious from the comments made by the commissioners that the reason they denied the application was because of Elon Musk's comments and participation in the political process. They do not like his politics. They made that very clear. And in America, we have something called the First Amendment, which protects not only your freedom of speech, but also freedom of political association. So, yeah, the government Coastal Commission does not have the authority to reject applications because they don't like the political viewpoints of the applicants. That is illegal. And I believe Elon Musk just today filed a lawsuit on that very point. So we're going to have this litigated. And I think there's going to be a lot more on this topic coming out. So obviously Elon Musk is not just sending up rockets for fun. He is a defense contractor. So the rockets that they're sending up are for strategic national interests. He's deploying satellites and payloads and other equipment into space that our military is using to keep us safe and to protect not only America, but also our allies. So by rejecting the application and slowing down the timeline of those launches, they are basically inhibiting our development in the space industry. So again, for many reasons, it doesn't make sense. First of all, this is bringing jobs to California. It's bringing money to California, a revenue base, and it's helping our country. There's no logical reason why the Coastal Commission would have rejected this application other than they don't like Elon Musk and his political views. And that's just wrong. That's not what we do in America. Yeah, well, I don't know what we're going to get, but I suspect these commissioners did not just wake up on that one particular day and express a viewpoint about Elon Musk. My suspicion is they've been talking about him, whether formally or informally. And under the law, we are allowed to request their communications, whether that's via email or text message or some other type of electronic communication. So that's what we asked for. We asked for a year's worth of communications that include any comments about Elon Musk or SpaceX. And so we'll see what we get out of that. But I suspect there's going to be very robust discovery as well in the SpaceX litigation against the Coastal Commission. So one way or another, this information is going to come out. And I think we're going to see how biased and politically motivated these commissioners really are. I think the public has a right to know. So obviously, any information we get that's relevant, we'll make public. And ultimately, every single person in our government, whether that's me as an elected or a bureaucrat in an agency, is accountable to the people. And I think the public have a right to know so they can make informed decisions about the leaders they elect. These commissioners get on there by a variety of means. The governor gets to appoint some people. I believe the state assembly speaker and the pro tem get to appoint some people. So there is a political process involved, and if the public, if there's enough outrage from the public, I think you will see some changes on that commission. I think it was important at this point that as an elected official, we send a clear statement to these government workers that this behavior is unacceptable and that we will have some level of oversight and hopefully some accountability, whether through it's a formal process or the political process. We cannot allow our government institutions to be politicized in such a openly and hostile manner the way the Coastal Commission is operating. particularly what interested me or stood out was the testimony that was offered to the commission from military experts about the importance of SpaceX work and these launches. And and the fact that the commission just disregarded that or ignored it and put their own political bias ahead of that, I think is again extremely disturbing and wholly inappropriate. So we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of open questions here. I mean, what's the role of Congress? I don't know if Congress has the authority to go ahead and override the commission's decision as a matter of public a national security. There may be other workarounds around this decision of the Coastal Commission, but I just felt an obligation as a elected California representative to make my voice and the voice of my constituents heard and let them know that that again, that their comments and their decision was frankly unacceptable. The thing I would say is like if this were happening in any other context or if a liberal CEO or executive was denied something because their viewpoint, I think you would see a united outrage across the political and media spectrum. But here, because it's Elon Musk and he's now endorsed Trump, you see you don't really hear a lot of criticism from the folks that you would expect to hear, like the ACLU and others. So it just kind of shows where we are in America now, where we do have this double standard and this two-tier justice system where if you're a conservative, it's sort of fair game, open season, win at all costs against you. And we just cannot have, again, that in America. We have to all be treated equally, and we cannot let people get punished or persecuted because of their political viewpoints. It's just not, that's not America. That's a third world country.